prepared to die. Oh, that night out there in Birmingham, that boy he shot me right. And I want to, but I have to show that boy will me. While I always wonder, my tombstone said, mention any of my good or just the evil in my day. Dust has not settled from the boys that busted in. I am not a bad man, but there's bullets in my stomach. Take me down to the river with my blood on the floor. 'Cause I don't know if I can carry this way much longer anymore. Take me up down on the bow for the sky. Don't go praying for me, because tonight I'm prepared to die. Oh, well, I killed a man in Birmingham. That boy tried to rob me. I did not want to, but I had to show that boy the real me.
I think he did what he had to do. I don't know if you picked up on that. So, anyways, we're going to move on to The Train. The other thing, too, with this style of music, it is borrowing from bluegrass. And bluegrass is all centered around a rhythm that is inspired by locomotive trains. It's a groove. Somebody pointed out recently that it's like the Nashville Shuffle is what the modern people are calling it, but it's still based on a train. I refer to it as a train. I know a lot of other people refer to it as a train. And quite frankly, it doesn't have to be from Nashville. And if you ask anybody outside of Nashville, they're probably like, no, it's an Alabama thing. So, I'm going to do a song that is hardcore bluegrass. Now, bluegrass, you guys familiar with bluegrass music? So the instrumentation is basically what we've been doing the entire time. This was like a bastardized version, like kind of rough around the edges, punk rock approach to it. But actual bluegrass is usually mandolin, fiddle, bass, no drums. There we go. That's the answer we were looking for. Boo on that. So I was like, I could do it, because when they're thinking drums, they're thinking, a rock show. And this is a rock show already. And there are times where things get rowdier on here than on there, because it's easier to get into the songs and get wild and move around, and people are right here in front of you and into it, and you're feeding off that energy. So there's a guy named Sturgill Simpson. You guys familiar with that guy?
Yep.
Country legend, right? Okay, so a quick story about Sturgill Simpson. Sturgill Simpson does not play by the rules. He is not liked in Nashville for the simple fact that he does it his way. If you don't like it, nice knowing you. There's the door. I'll see you again. He won a Grammy for the best country music album, and the same year he wasn't even invited to the American Country Music Awards. So you know what he did? He decided, I'm going to take my Grammy, I'm going to take my acoustic guitar, I'm going to bring my videographer guy who films me playing all over the place, all over the world, and at the shows that are huge and at the shows that are small. And I'm going to set up and I'm going to busk at the American Country Music Awards. And he filmed it. And it's the most badass thing I've ever seen. again, going back to the original idea of all this, Willie Nelson, the king of badass, who didn't, again, same thing, got kicked out of Nashville, and made a career and is 91 years old and still kicking it. And I mean kicking it. So in bluegrass, the way bluegrass works is everybody's around one microphone. And as everybody's playing, everybody's kind of using their volume to kind of create dynamics and flow and feeling. And then when it's solo time, people back up. The person who's solo steps forward, closer to the mic, through the PA. The other guys naturally go back. And that's an old school technique that they used to do when they were recording in these studios where you get one take. All right, we're gonna put the microphone on and we're gonna capture your thing. And there was no mixing after. It was like straight to whatever they're recording with, usually just like a record type thing. That they were burning it right there, and then suddenly next week it's on the radio, and then it's run off, and everybody steals it and does their own version of it, because that's how this beautiful thing called music is. It's heart and soul. Everybody's going to do it a little different. So in that, there is a lot of feet to step on in this. So you got to be really careful with dynamics. You don't want to crowd the rhythm. You want to be adding to it. The train is the perfect addition to this. And on the recording, there is a drum, and he did it with steel brushes. Basically, Sturgill took all his catalog, his back catalog, and put out 2 records called Cutting Grass, Bluegrass, Volume 1 and 2. All of his songs were now bluegrass renditions of his songs that you already liked. So, and all of them had a little bit more of a kind of like back home kind of hoedown kind of feel, which is really appealing for this kind of stuff, especially when you're doing the brushes. So during COVID, I saw this. I was like, wow, I want to do a drum video for this. So I did a drum video on my video. Video ended up getting on a Sturgill Simpson like playlist. And so now people were thinking that I was the guy who played with him, and I was like, oh my God, don't get me wrong. I wish, I would love to, if you want to tell them. And I would never take that drummer in that gig. He's a monster. So no disrespect, he's doing it, and he's doing it better than I could, and I have so much adoration and respect for him. So I'm gonna show you this, and keep in mind that we're trying to back it off when there's solos and bring it up, and then of course, chorus is up, verse is down, right? That's what we're starting with. So this song is called Brace for Impact. And he actually performed this song in the country rock kind of genre on Saturday Night Live, and it's the most incredible Saturday Night Live performance I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen all the big ones like live, like Nirvana and stuff like that. This performance blew all of them out of the water. Like, it was shocking, and to a point where it was like, wow. And he was on fire because it was that same year that he wasn't invited to the American Country Music Awards. get sweat in your eyes, burns. Yeah, like the biggest thing with that, the fade out adds a lot because that's a recording thing. They just faded it out, but if you can play along to that fade out and get that in, you can't do that on a regular drum kit. It just doesn't work. So that was a big thing. I wanted to use something that would show that you can do anything with this. Dynamics is everything, pushing and pulling and leaving enough space, knowing when to drop out and get it really low so the other instruments can shine. I got a couple more songs. I'm going to talk about snare selection real